Howdy, and welcome to Linalita Farm.
Howdy doodle 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 doo. Howdy doodle 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 doo.
I wanted to make this video as an introduction to who we are. I'm Lita, and Lena is behind the camera. Lena is the camera person. And that's where we get Linalita Farm from, Lena and Lita. And we're two autistic women. Both of us are autistic. And I'll talk about that more in a minute. But we're living out our dream of being on a farm. And we hope that you'll join us in our journey in various escapades as we go through this. Linalita Farm is located in San Ramon, a small town in Nicaragua. Now, San Ramon is a small town that's like a suburb of a larger city called Matagalpa. We're in the coffee growing region of Nicaragua, so we're up in the mountains, up in the highland mountains. This is the coffee growing region. We also grow a lot of a crop called passion fruit or maracuja. Linalita Farm is 8.5 acres. We are 12.5 degrees north of the equator and about 600 meters above sea level. So that gives you a sense of where we are. Now, I mentioned that we're both autistic. Now, of course, autism is on a spectrum. And on the spectrum, there, way over on this side, there are people like with ADHD and what have you. And over on the other end of the spectrum, over here, we have very severe autism, nonverbal, and what have you. Lena is clearly in the Asperger category, which is used to be called high functioning autism. I don't know how high functioning we actually are, but that's what it used to be called, Asperger. I am a little bit to the right of Asperger because I don't make eye contact with people. I can't do that. There's a lot of other things you'll see that maybe with other channels you'll see people do, like you'll see people walking with a camera. I can't do that. Why? Because I'll fall down. The camera will get ruined. So I'm always here standing talking to you. And if I need to go to a different part of the farm, we just turn off the camera and I go up there. But I don't talk with you on the way because I will fall down. I can guarantee it. I fall down even when I don't have a camera in my hand. Mainly because I have a tendency to be looking around like this. It's also the reason that I don't drive. I used to drive a long time ago, but people were so afraid to go in the automobile with me, including Lena, that I don't drive anymore. It's not safe. It's not safe for me to drive, and it's not safe for me to be walking around with a camera. And of course, you could say, well, look at your feet, look at the floor. And when I do that, I wind up walking into branches on trees, so I get hit in the head. So it's a problem either way. Now, when I first had the idea to start this channel, I didn't want it to be about autism. But then I got to thinking about it, and autistic is what we are. It affects everything that we do, and so it's impossible to separate it out. But I'm going to try to focus on farming, permaculture, those things. And then when I bring autism in, I'll bring it in to talk about how that might be affecting our decision making or other things like that. Now, Lena and I are both city girls. Okay. I grew up in Chicago and then moved to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Lena is from here in Nicaragua in a city called Leon. And we had no experience with farming at all. Like many homesteaders, we just decided we wanted to do it and it would be a cool thing to do. So we've made a lot of mistakes along the way. We'll talk about some of those, and we've had some pretty big successes too. So I'll talk about those as well. Our main attraction, or why we wanted to live in a rural area and be farming and all of that, was that we have a very close connection with animals, and we love animals. Here's one of our dogs here, Linalita. Luna is the grandmother of all of our dogs. So autistics have very close connections with animals, and we wanted to honor that. Okay. We also like to watch things grow. We also thought it would be quieter to be out in a rural area. Big surprise, it's not quieter. It's just different. But it definitely isn't quieter. At least where we are, it's not quieter. So I thought I'd say a little bit about our interests outside of farming. So I'm going to give you 3 interests that each of us have. Lena has a very strong interest in chess. She's an amateur photographer, and she has a very strong interest in spirituality, studying different traditions of spirituality. I have very strong interest in musical composition. You'll see that some of the music that appears on this channel I've written myself, and I'll make sure I mention that when it's playing. I also have very strong interest in science fiction. My hobby is astrophysics. That may seem like a weird hobby to some people, but it's a big hobby of mine. And then finally, American football, particularly the team, the Chicago Bears. So I've been a Chicago Bears fan all of my life. We also have, as autistics, we have many things that we obsess about. We have a lot of obsessions. One of them, which you may have already deduced, is an obsession with the word howdy. Both of us have an obsession with that word, and we say it to each other maybe 50 times a day, every day. Howdy. It just is something that's, being city girls, that word is just kind of out of the context for us, and it's kind of cool. So we'll talk about some of the other obsessions that we have as well. I have an obsession with prime numbers, for example. If we have the volume on the stereo or on the television, it has to be oriented on a prime number, the volume. Otherwise I get uncomfortable. So this is just a brief introduction of who we are. The real videos about the farm are coming next. So thanks for watching.